Welcome to the Create a New You show, helping you to do better, go further, have greater, feel exceptional, and improve the quality of your life. Here is your host. I am the Sharonda.
Hi, I am the Sharonda, and this is the Create a New You show. Today, I am here with Carlita Vasser. She is the owner of At Home Care, and today's episode is talking about home care. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Sharonda.
Okay, now, you are an RN, yes?
Correct.
Okay, and how long have you been a nurse?
Over 20 years.
So you have tons of experience.
Yes.
Okay, so you own At Home Care, and now tell us, what is home care?
Home care is actually different categories. One, we have something called personal care. Personal care is getting dressed, taking a bath, combing your hair. We also have something called homemaker services, and homemaker services are things that you do every day to keep your house comfortable, keep you free and clean of diseases. Something such as washing the dishes or sweeping the floor, tidying and dusting. Even meal preparation is considered a homemaker service. Then we also have something called chore worker services. Now, chore services are the things that you don't do every day, but hopefully you're doing them. Meaning cleaning out your closet, washing out the refrigerator, cleaning out your oven. It could be something even as cleaning out your attic. That's considered a chore. All of the tasks collectively are things that are medically necessary for you to live in your own home, even though you don't think of washing your dishes as something that's medically necessary. It is because you don't want to eat on dirty dishes.
Correct. Because that's going to just promote sickness.
Bacteria, right.
Okay.
And even taking out the trash, we kind of like take that for granted. And a lot of times seniors aren't even able to get their own trash out of their home, which causes another issue with bugs and rodents.
And then something, I just thought about it, something as small as taking out the trash, but also putting the bag into the trash can again, like the liner. Sometimes that's really difficult to get that bag open. The plastic bag, that's really difficult. So having help with that, that's most beneficial. Yeah.
Well, in home care right now, we mostly provide services for Medicaid participants. However, we also provide services for veterans and as well as people who are just private pay. So the services that we can provide vary from one person to the next. Under another program, there's something called CDS, or Consumer Directed Services, which is 100% a Medicaid program as well. And in that program, a participant is eligible for home care services, personal care, homemaker, chore services. In addition to that, they can actually provide services, have services provided to them by a family member. It could be an immediate family member, a daughter, granddaughter. It can also be non-immediate, a niece or nephew.
Somebody they would be comfortable with.
Correct. It's always better when you're going into a situation such as something personal in your home to have somebody that you can relate to, something you have something in common. And a lot of times having blood in common is a wonderful thing, and sometimes it's not.
Yes. Hopefully it's very positive in this situation.
Right. It always is. So we always tell everybody, look at your family dynamics, look at your situation, because at times you may want the daughter to provide the services in the Consumer Directed Service program. However, if she's working a full-time job and has kids, it may be additional taxing effort on her part. So you have to really kind of know your family structure and what's best for you. The difference between the in-home and the Medicaid program and Consumer Directed Services and the in-home and Medicaid program is the transportation, and these also having your family provide the care. In-home care, there is not transportation allowed. All services must be provided to the client in their home.
Okay.
That's why they call it in-home care. And on the Consumer Directed Services program, the participant is eligible for services outside of their home, such as going to the grocery store, going to the doctor's office. There's no waiting time while they're at their physician's office, but they can actually have their daughter take them to the doctor's, and the daughter can get paid travel time while she's taking mom to the doctor's office or the grocery store.
Okay. All right.
The other difference in the Consumer Directed Service program and the in-home care program is under in-home care, there's something called essential errands. So a person can, the attendant can go run errands for the client, but the client cannot go with them.
Okay.
And once again, it's not an immediate family member. Does not mean that you cannot work for your cousin under in-home care. It's just an immediate family member.
Right. Okay, so for the most part, these are Medicaid clients?
For the health programs, through the Veterans Care Coordination, through the VA does not allow the Consumer Directed Service program. It is strictly in-home as well as a private duty program. They're pretty similar. It's an all-inclusive program where you can receive the personal care chart and the homemaker. The main difference is the payer source. And the payer sources unfortunately always dictate what services you can receive, how you can receive it, as well as when you can receive the services. Because everything's through an authorization process.
Sure. And it sounds like for the veterans, for the VA care, as well as the CDS service and the in-home service, it's based on need.
Correct.
It's based on need, and it's determined by the payer.
It's determined by the payer. A lot of times the client may need more services, but the payer source is only going to allow so many hours or so many units. Medicaid, they speak in units, which a unit is 15 months. So collectively, though, each insurance company does dictate what they think you need and qualify for. So what you think you need, the insurance company may see otherwise.
Okay.
It's so important for individuals to speak up, speak out.
Yes.
Because if they do not say what they want and really express their needs, so I physically became my own consumer of my own product last year. And it took me a really quick minute to realize what my needs were. And had I not spoken up and spoken out about what I needed, I would have not gotten the services. And not through anything other than, I have hired my own aide. They didn't know what I needed. They didn't know what I wanted.
So you had to say so.
I had to say so. And so what happens with the insurance company, the attendants are not really eligible to speak on the behalf of the client. The client has to speak up. The family is really not eligible to speak up for the client. The client has to speak up and say, unless they have a mental condition where they can't speak for themselves. However, what happens a lot of times is, the Medicaid or veterans will say, so how do you get out of the bathtub? Oh, baby, everything's okay. I don't need any help. And knowing, well, if they get in the tub and they forget a washcloth, they might have trouble trying to get in and out the tub. They're not able to wash their feet or see their feet, And
then, imagining that these clients, they've been so independent for so much of their life.
And you want to stay independent.
You want to stay independent, and the person, they may have had a health challenge, a health change, and now things are kind of different, and they just need a little bit more help. But to them, oh, I got it, I can do it. But the moral here is, if you know you need help,
speak up, speak out.
Just speak up.
Being prideful, I really think that is the biggest hindrance in home care. Is an individual knows that they need services and their family knows they need services, but the client or the patient just doesn't want anyone interfering in their life. And it's not so much even a difference between the in-home and the consumer-directed services, meaning that they have this attendant that they don't really know under the in-home care, or they have a family member they know in the CDS program. It's still all the same. They don't want anyone in their business. That's what they think. The attendant, whether or not it's an attendant that's hired by at-home care and provides the services, or it's the daughter that's providing the services, 99.9% of the time, they are really there to do their job and go home, unless they're living there, of course, in the CDS program. So, and the main goal is nobody really wants to go in a nursing home.
Sure.
In home care itself overall, the decrease in rehospitalization is wonderful. I mean, just within at-home care itself, our statistics are wonderful. 65% of our participants do not go into the hospital over the course of services.
That's awesome.
And over 90% do not have rehospitalizations.
Now, I'm sure that's because they are having services that are provided for them that they may not get to if they didn't like, washing the dishes and making sure that their home is clean and free of bacteria and free of things that would harm them. But is there any type of medical professional that may see them on any sort of regular basis?
Well, we encourage them to be aware of their health plan. Each health plan is different. And through the Medicaid program, they're eligible for nursing visits.
Okay.
They can have weekly, they can have monthly. And home care services, they get one every 6 months at the minimum. But either way, and even in the CDS program, they can have weekly or monthly nurse visits. Somebody come out and do a skin assessment. Somebody come out and do diabetic foot check, medication setups. Just because you know that you're supposed to take a pink pill at 9 o'clock and the green pill at noon does not mean that you really know your medications. And it's always helpful to have a medical professional help kind of intervene when you have multiple doctors, so that they can be aware, especially a nurse, be aware that, that green pill and the pink pill, they happen to be the same thing. It's like Tylenol and acetaminophen. They're the same thing.
Right.
But the layperson may not know that. So that's why it's really helpful.
Well, that's very proactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to head off issues before they become too bad.
Yeah, we have a saying around at home care. Please tell us when the trash can is on fire, because once the house is on fire, it's really hard to kind of tone that down.
That's good.
And that's what you have to do with your health care. Just be proactive. Be aware of what your needs are. Like I said, speak up and speak out, especially when the insurance company is asking you what your needs are. Don't sit there and say, I don't need any. I can do my dishes. Well, can you do that 365 days a year?
Yeah, because some days are better than others.
Right. And how was yesterday? I'm sure that everybody's going to pay the price for the holiday weekend when they're doing all of the meal prepping, or they might be able to do a little bit of something couple of days out of a year. But then how much downtime do you have after standing up on your feet from cooking?
Sure.
Are you able to even get out of bed after doing a holiday festival at your home?
Sure.
So people have to kind of look at their whole health, not just what they're doing today, but long term. Yes, we only have 24 hours in a day, and we try to make the best of it, but you have to kind of think about the next 24 hours, especially when you are a disabled adult or a senior citizen.
Awesome. All right. Well, if someone is interested in getting services with your company, how should they contact you?
There's a couple ways. They can call us at 314-739-2100. They can also reach us at www.homecarestlouis.com. We can also receive referrals by fax as well, 314-739-2101. Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on the show. This has been the Create a New You show, and I have been here with Ms. Carlita Vasser. If you feel as though you need services in your home, or a loved one needs services in your home, please call Ms. Carlita Vasser with At Home Care, so that you can stay at home and not have to transition into a nursing home. And as always, I want you to do better, go further, have greater, feel exceptional, and improve the quality of your life. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Sharonda. Bye-bye.